So, welcome back to episode 2 of the Mk2 Xpack. Haven't decided on a name yet. Might have by the end of this episode, unsure. So, in this one here, I intend to get the whole car stripped down to a complete bare shell. And yeah, there's still a fair bit to come out of it when it time you take all the trim and the engine, the gearbox, struts, crossmember, bonnet, doors, windows, axle, everything has to come out. It's hopefully going for blasting next week, so hopefully, depending on progress, maybe this episode, possibly next, but we'll see what we're really left with. I want to get the wing off before it goes to the first step is to take it back off the axle stands that I put it onto at the end of last episode. I forgot that I don't have an engine crane at this workshop. It's over at my parents' house, which is about an hour and a half round trip. So I want it out today. I'm going to take it back off the stands, put it on the lift, which is just behind you there, and set it down onto axle stands on the cross member and the gearbox, I think. Then that'll let me lift the shell up off the engine. Leave the engine on the floor, then I can put it onto a wheelie dolly trolley thing or trail it out of the road or something. Just get rid of it, basically. I was intending to get it all started while it was still in the car. Still intend to start it, or at least compression test it whenever it's on the floor. But whenever the blasting is coming up as of next week and I still have a fairly complete car, it's time to get going. So, engine's coming out, get it all. Is there anything louder than a trolley jack? Just spotted it. In gear or what? Nope. Oh my word. Come on. Ah. So now then, now is where we find out just how clean the underside of this thing really is. Look. So here she is, up in the air. This sill has already been replaced upon. Daniel did it before I bought the car. The A-post I think has already been replaced too. I'm going to tidy up some of the welds in there. He didn't get a chance to finish it off. The undershield still needs to be cleaned off all of the inner wings. It's been done underneath though, which is quite nice to see. It's all been primed in here, I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago now. So it looks pretty tasty. However, the paint has started to flake off in places, so I'm going to need to hit this another key back and then hit it properly with epoxy. As for the rear of it, chassis legs don't look too bad. Doesn't seem to have been any patches or anything on them, so that's nice. No, all looks good. What's it like up here? Spring hangers. Initial assessments are good. There was a wee bit here somewhere I spotted on like a double lap. Here. So I'll need to take this off and fix it. But apart from that, I think the underside of the car genuinely looks good, which is amazing news. There's some amount of flipping rust and stuff up in there. You can still see the Jupiter red paint under it. And let's get stripping. Right, I'm going to pop in for my tea, come back out after the kids go to bed, and we'll get stripping this thing, get the engine out of it, the box out of it, front legs, rear springs. Just let's get going, get it ready for blasting. I'm excited to get tore into another project of my own. I'm sure you'll understand. So I'm still in the phase 1 of project ownership, which is excitement. Depression will follow. Right, so happy dinner. Time to get started. Time to get the wheels off this thing, so you can see what I'm at. This one is binding, the inside of the tires binding on the strut. Now it is a size of a tire, is it? 185, 70, 13. The 70 might be something to do with that. This one's a 165, 13. Yeah. Okay. Get the wheels off it. Have a look at what else I can take off. Set the whole car down onto a few axle stands, a couple on the cross member, one on the tail shaft of the gearbox. And then I can lie underneath it, buzz out all the bolts that are holding the cross member in and the gearbox cross member, and just drop the whole shebang down onto the, well, rather it's on the floor, lift the shell off it and leave it on the floor. Then work out so while it's up in the air, might as well take the prop out. The only thing I can see going wrong here is to take this prop completely out. Is a gear bag oil going to push everywhere? Probably. .6. It's the original axle, so probably a 377 or a 375, I would guess. Can't. Right. So that's the engine and gearbox, both all sitting on stands now. The only thing that's going to scupper this is if Daniel hasn't put any bell housing bolts in, which he has. Good lad, Daniel. So, I think now I need to get get in underneath, take the cross member bolt out, take the gear stick out first actually, then just why, you know, folks. Right, so let's get a socket swapped over to 916 and see if I can get this cross member down out. That is if Daniel has put 916 headed bolts. And I can guarantee you with an extension. So, we'll try this. What else now? What else? 13s. Knuckles off. Okay. Let's see what happens. Right, so I've done a little bit off camera, mainly because I forgot the camera, but also because I had other people in doing a bit of work on another car here, and it's just, yeah, a bit rude when you're filming and you're trying to talk to somebody at the same time. So I have stripped out the engine bay. You saw in the last clip, I stripped out the running gear, the front end, the engine, gearbox, all that carry-on's out of it. The axle is also out of it now. The tailgate's off, the bonnet's off. So I only have a few throttle cables, bit of wiring, servo. That's really in the engine bay, to be honest. And then I'm going to start stripping the inside of it out. Then the wing can come off the front. And it's on to the absolutely glorious task of taking off under seal. So, plans have changed since, for you, a couple of seconds ago, but for me, a couple of days. Got fed up stripping manky stuff off a car and dealing with the rat excrement, let's call it, inside the car. So I went and got an engine. So this is the engine for this car. I hope it fits. I've never tried it, unsure. So I'll take you in now for a bit of a closer look, and yeah, it's just the usual thing to do, isn't it? Whenever you get bored, you procrastinate, you decide to do something exciting instead of dealing with that. But yeah, engine is here, and I'll take you in now and tell you all about it. So, this engine, if you haven't worked out what it is yet, is not a Ford engine. There are probably a few, maybe you can't see them from where you're at, but this engine has 4 circles on it. It is from an Audi. It's an Audi TT 1.8 turbo, 20 valve, 4-cylinder turbo engine. Basically, From what I can gather, the BAM engine, which is what this is the most powerful of all the 1.8Ts. It should be about 225 standard in the TT that it came out of, but with a few modifications, better flow and exhaust, etc., and a map. From memory, I think they can do about 300 horse, maybe a wee bit more. They're on the limit of the stock internals at that, so a set of rods, aftermarket rods, will hopefully bring it up that I can go to the moon. I'm going to send it to the moon anyway. A few differences on this engine than the other engine codes of the 1.8 turbo. This is set transverse usually, so this would be sitting side to side in a Capri or in a TT. I obviously wanted to go long ways and rear-wheel drive. So the rear-wheel drive section of it, thankfully somebody out there has already done all of the research and development, let's call it, and you can mount an RX-8 gearbox onto the back of it with an adapter plate. So the challenges that the TT engine has, the turbo downpipe, when it's over there somewhere, it comes out the front of the turbo, so it's going to be pointing towards the front, towards the headlights basically, unless I can find some sort of a manifold or flip the turbo or something to get it to go out the back. The inlet is the same, so the inlet comes in here, sort of at the passenger's feet, side of the bulkhead. I don't really want that either, so I can see myself probably cutting it, welding it up, and putting the inlet on this end, or if an inlet off another one, like a Passat or an A4 works, then we'll do a swap-a-rooney, get it all swapped around. So I really want to see what this looks like in an engine bay. So I'm going to simplify this a little bit. All of this emissions, gubbins is all coming off. So I'm going to do that first. Take off the charge pipe holder, front engine mounts, power steer, or whatever that is. I don't know, oil feed for the turbo or something? Couldn't tell you. Nope, coolant line. But I'm going to take off all the stuff that's not necessary, that I think isn't necessary, and set this thing into the engine bay to see what it looks like, just to give me a wee bit of motivation to keep going. I'm getting too old for this. So first things first, time to see if yes, RX-8 coils do fit. Lovely, because I have loads of those left over from the Capri. The Xpack, the other one. Happy days. So let's see if we can get this thing hoisted into the engine bay and see what it looks like. So that's the engine in the hole. It's only sitting up on a couple of axle stands, one at the front, one at the back, and a jack at that side. So it's a bit precarious, but I had to put it in to see if it was A, going to fit, B, what it looked like, and C, to give me some motivation to keep going. I ended up inside the car anyway tonight because the servo was in the way of the turbo. And yeah, I couldn't show that bit of footage probably because even if I did take it on the camera, it's probably one constant beep the whole way through. I am not built to fit in there, let's just say. So, engine's in the hole. I'm going to have to get an RX-8 gearbox ordered up and an adapter plate. So I'll get all that stuff done some point soon. My real priority at this point is getting this thing ready for blasting and getting the metalwork done. But it doesn't hurt to have a bit of fun every now and again. So remember that if you're doing a project, folks. If you're getting bored of something, you're getting fed up and it looks like you're going to park the car, walk away from it, do something different for a bit. Put an engine in, work on brakes, do something completely different to what you're at, get the motivation back, do something exciting. That's my top tip. Right, so I think that will do me for this one. It's enough excitement for one day, for 1 week. The car is now pretty much stripped and ready for blasting. The only things that really have to come off are the 2 doors. There's some stuff lying on the inside of it, loose. And the inner arches need cleaned from undershield. That wing needs chopped off as well. So I think in the next episode, you'll be able to hopefully see it being blasted. You'll see it come back and see what I have to work with. I'm hoping to get basically, not the whole car done because a lot of it's going to be cut off and stuff, but roof gutters and all done, inner arches, engine bay, possibly the inside, the boot floor, all that's going to be blasted and epoxy primed, ready to go. Let me know what you think in the comments of my engine choice. I know it's probably going to be one that's going to annoy the purists, but I do enjoy that, to be fair. Let me know if you've seen it done before. I know there's one other one in a Sirocco that I've seen on YouTube in a rear-wheel drive form with an RX-8 box, so I know it can be done rear-wheel drive. Just I've never. So, also, while you're there, do please hit the channel to subscribe, hit it a like, share, tell your friends, send it a carrier pigeon, just let everybody know this is happening. New Xpack build, 20 valve turbo, should be fun, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. So, I will see you in the next one, where this one will all get blasted, back to bare metal, epoxy primed. We'll see exactly what misery that I have to deal with. I know the roof's coming off. I'm going to put 2 A-post panels in it, probably sort that sill again. Far sill might need done. Headlight buckets, there's a lot of stuff to do, but yeah. Anyway, until the next one, which I don't know if I can hold out to every week because I'm a very busy chap, let's just say, with other workshop work behind me and stuff. I only get 1 or 2 nights a week at this, but I'll try and get it every couple of weeks for this project, if at all possible, and yeah. Let's go. See you in the next one.